it'll be fine. That's when you put on a fun little compilation video on
Oh, you
and
mean
you take all your
Hercules three
notes.
times. Hercules 3 times. There you go.
Such a good movie. It doesn't get almost anything right about the
No,
Greek pantheon,
lots,
but
lots of stuff is wrong. Hera,
this.
caring mother. Wow, when that happened?
You mean she wasn't? Essentially, everything that Hades was in the movie
Like,
would have been Hera.
right, would have been Hera. It was like the polar opposite. That's the thing that a lot of people don't understand about the Greek gods is Hades was actually really chill in a lot of
Yeah.
circumstances, and Hera's like, "Hey, I'm gonna force you to close your legs so you can't give birth to a child." Whoa,
Yep.
wait a minute.
Yes. Yeah, but like Disney couldn't show a family featuring the mother actively working against the father,
Right,
although technically she's also not the mom.
right. She isn't his biological mother. She was the one who sent down the serpents. Like, there's so many things that just like happen, but
But the music
right,
slaps and the art is great.
right.
I'm assuming we're talking about Hercules from Disney.
That is correct.
Fun fact. Oh, good.
What I was going to say is, while I don't 100% support it, I love the fan theory that Mother Gothel is Meg from is older Meg.
Ooh, she does have that sassy energy. Also, Mother Gothel could get it.
The tie-in on it is that like she was looking for the flower originally to bring Hercules back, because perhaps maybe he died before she did. And the I think where the entire theory of the thing comes from is Mother Gothel at one point calls Finn "you big lug."
Yeah, no, that's really all it does take for a lot of like movie fans to cling to something.
One key phrase. It's the Mother Gothel stands.
Yep.
Big love,
Oh my
Hercules
gosh.
automatically.
Oh my gosh, these people were on screen together for more than 4 seconds. I ship
right
them.
together.
They're my OTP.
Have you seen The Producers, the Mel Brooks movie, The Producers?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, you know Carmen Gia, like the assistant. He's the one who sings "Go the Distance."
Oh yeah.
There's like footage. There's YouTubeage of that, and he like that's like think about it, like that high note. Oh my god, that was him. That was him.
I mean, I believe it because like him and Nathan Lane do a lot of work together, and Nathan Lane has done a couple of Disney things.
That makes sense.
A lot of Disney things.
I've always loved that fun
changes
fact.
everything. Oh no, Red. Or no, not Red.
Carmen Dia.
Everything's shuffled. I was like, wait, no. Alright. Alright, so we're all here. We're all feeling relatively okay. Alright, so yes!
I should have worn my apron.
Cute. Anyway.
When you bring me an actual, so
I got cheesy food.
I have Sting floating around here somewhere.
I have the Millennium Falcon.
Yay! I also have an absurd amount of dick statues that you can't see.
I have a Persephone.
I'm a beholder.
I don't think it's legal for YouTube.
Yeah. All right. So, welcome. This is a starting session. Yeah, gotta have the dice out. But I like to start off my sessions with an in-character question, because it kind of, these are things that you would kind of discuss in those quiet moments amongst yourselves that you would have started to like share, but not necessarily have like full time to role play. And I did not create this list. I've stolen it from Jenny D, because as a dungeon master, you should steal content.
Mm-hmm.
I firmly believe it.
Sharing is caring.
Exactly. So I like to ask in-character questions. So the first question is, are you a morning person or a night owl? And I'll call you guys out, so you guys can have a moment to think about it. Uh, DM, what is Dynah? Is Dynah a morning or a night owl?
Dinah closes up the shop generally because she has to restock everything for the next morning. But if she has to get up in the morning to do it, she will make sure that everybody knows that she had to come in and finish their job the night before.
Uh-huh. Fantastic. Yep, I've worked with so many closers like that.
Just takes extra coffee. That's all you need.
Now, what about Igreus? Are they a morning or a night owl? I mean, they're an underground person.
Yeah, so being a drow, he's definitely a night person. His circadian rhythm is kind of off. He's one of those people who barely sleeps at all, so he's constantly up at night anyway. So
That makes sense. He gives. I wander around the town at night because that's the time when the bodega is the quietest.
right, when
Yeah,
everything is
no, I
silent.
get it. Yep. All right. Mrs. Baker, morning person or a night owl?
Listen, Mrs. Baker has reached that age where you're not quite sure when that she sleeps. She's, that elderly person that seems to stay up really late and also be there in the morning in the tavern baking bread before anybody else gets there, right? So when does she sleep? It's a mystery.
Yeah. It's the middle of the day while all of us are working.
Mhm.
Nana naps.
Yep. Alright.
I mean, and she's tiny, so she's probably on somebody's shoulder sleeping while we're traveling too. So
Oh yeah, 100%. Just, oh hey, could you give me a boost? I just need a better place to see. No, I'm not done seeing yet. Shh.
I wasn't snoring.
no,
Yeah, I was watching out.
I was just checking my eyelids for cracks. I wasn't sleeping.
I'm gonna remember that line. That's great.
That's what my nana always said.
That's it. For Anne Kai, for Rev's new character, she a morning person or a night person?
Honestly, I think that she'd be more of a night person, just because of the mildly uncontrollable telepathy.
Mm-hmm.
So morning would have way too many voices.
Oh, yeah, that would be really loud.
Incoherent screaming.
Ah!
Yeah, just like every once in a while, she's like, "Will you all quiet the fuck down?
Mm-hmm.
I already have enough voices in my head. I don't need all of you."
Mm-hmm.
Yup. Alright, and that leaves Sophos. Sophos?
Sophos is definitely a night owl, but wakes up at 10 p.m. night owl and then just does everything in the dead of night, early parts of morning, and just is knockout dead through the afternoon. Unaccessible without stimulants.
You've described me during my unemployment thus far.
Sophos, I'm playing basically myself, a little more chaotically because it's all the energy I have to play is just my base chaotic core. So I'm leaning into it.
I love
I
it.
embrace the chaos.
Yeah, we're not here for cottage core. We're here for chaos core.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect. So, since the majority of you answered as evening people, we'll set the stage on this for a Grecian location, relatively far inland city, and This is a town that, in moments, looks gorgeous, uh, pristine, beautiful. That's not the part of town we're in.
Hmm.
We set our stage at a rundown kapeleion, a cafe where the blue shutters are just a little off their hinges against their probably what was the white stucco is kind of fading to a gray cream color from the amount of vomit, urine, and other such bodily fluids that probably have gotten flung on it over time. It's relatively cleaned off now, but some of those stains just never quite go away. Um, so the first person we're going to introduce is behind the bar, maybe on a series of benches so that she could fully see over it at certain points. DM, would you like to introduce your character?
Well, you see a dwarven woman today, nice, shiny, bright, and the garb I had last time, the silver mail shirt with the gold crossbar. Am I working the tavern right now, or am I just patronizing the neighboring tavern?
No, you'd be working at this time.
So she's blessing the tables and restocking the eggs of ale to make sure that everything is working fine and clean, and handing out here's another one. All right, you better keep up on your tab, and just bustling back and forth and generally making sure that nobody gets uppity.
Perfect. The Tipsy Titan is not a busy location. For those who would like venture in at maybe what would be like a rush hour, happy hour time, you would see maybe 2 or 3 patrons. And if the boss of the owner of this particular establishment were to be ever asked why you put a bar here, he would essentially respond with you, "It's good location," and then just leave it at that. So it's an odd establishment. You're not quite sure how it manages to stay in business, but it's functioning, and they pay you. So yeah, it's relatively quiet. You hear familiar sounds of the prep work for the next morning, the kneading of dough, the heating of the ovens. So you kind of fade around the corner, and that's where we're going to be introduced to our next character. Paula, would you like to introduce your character?
Okay, so in front of one of the counters on a step stool would be Mrs. Baker. She has her ever-present apron on with a blue dress underneath it. She has a chef's knife and some other tools of the trade in her belt around her waist. She's got that blue silver hair all piled up like on her head, not in like a beehive, but just a total granny style. She's got little glasses perched on the end of her nose, and she's just quietly humming to herself as she is kneading the biggest, like almost half the size of her, like dough ball on this counter, just like getting up in there and just kneading it and humming under her breath.
Fantastic. All right. So shifting out of the kitchen, you see one of the only patrons in the bar currently. I imagine that she is saddled up to the bar, but in a place that she can most see the people coming in and out. Would you like to introduce your character? I'm sorry. Gosh, why can't I remember her name? It's not Sage. That's all I can ever think of. Sophos. That's the word I want.
We can totally go with Sage and just like for like everyone calls her Sage, but like on paper she's Sophos just to be a pain. I'm cool with that.
I mean,
Sage is cool. I like Sage. It implies
Let's
that
go
she's
there.
Sophos
wise,
the
but she's
sage.
not.
Is Sophos' title?
She's a sage.
Sophos the Sage.
See, you're thinking like wise sage. I'm thinking the spice.
I was thinking the spice.
I think of the chaotic Texas sage that like blooms when it rains suddenly and then like drops all of its flowers and makes a huge mess. I love that plant.
Yes,
Um,
that's the exact energy.
Yeah, that's exactly. We can go with Sage. I'm cool with Sage. I like Sage. I'm comfortable with that one. She could be Sage the Sophos, or she just switches it up and she's like, "Hello, Sophos the Sage," and everyone's like, "Wait, what?" Yeah, let's do that. I like that plan.
Okay. All right. Excellent.
She's like, "What you talking? I'm here. What? What? Oh, Nani. Okay." So that's basically the energy you're seeing. There's this little fidgety gnome. She's got green hair. If she was not moving, you would think she was a pile of leaves. But they let her inside. They've tried to kick her out. It hasn't worked, so they just surrender and just kind of like vibing, chilling, smiling at absolutely nothing you can tell.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Perfect.
It comes in pints.
Huh?
Just a lot of energy. Also, now that we're done with the short crew, um, a like cinematically dark figure enters the tavern, almost dripping in menace. And then the hood gets pulled back, and you guys are greeted with a very familiar face to the tavern. Mox, would you like to introduce your character as you enter in?
He removes his hood, and you see this dark chocolate brown individual with these long locks, with these golden ringlets on each lock. Kind of step inside, look around, and look towards the bar. Very wide, sort of athletic build about them. But you notice distinctly he's not wearing any shoes in, in any capacity. So he just has these long, very flowing pants and no shoes whatsoever. And he just kind of walks through and he walks directly over to the bar and sits down and sort of leans against it. And he says, Dynah, can I get a drink? Probably going to need a couple
Absolutely.
after tonight.
All right. What can I get for you today?
What's the house special today?
I got something special. I'm literally thinking about making a michelada right now. Would you like to try that?
I'll take anything at this point. And he kind of like glances over and he sees like a pile of leaves and he's like, I think somebody needs to sweep your shop, Dynah.
Don't worry. If you step in it, I can get you a new pair of boots if you got the coin.
I like the cold stone.
Very tactile.
Is Mrs. Baker back there? Kind of hungry.
I
I've
think she's
had a long walk.
cooking something, or baking something. She's making a mess back there somewhere. Hold on, let me go check.
And as Dynah kind of drifts around the corner, the last of our companions enters the tavern, still hair just a little damp from being exposed to the local bathhouse. Is a beautiful woman that you've seen about town. Rev, if you want to go ahead and introduce your character.
Sure. So I tossed the image of her in the general chat. She looks like a human, though you do see very small growths on her head, like almost like a crown of like little horns. It's mostly obscured by the hair, but it is present. Dressed in pinks and purples. She'll walk into the bar. She has a little black rat that runs around on her shoulders. And
That is still very wet from the bathhouse.
not that it has dissuaded the little critter at all.
Mm-mm.
And she'll approach the bar and ask for either a wine or a cider or something like that.
Well, you go. Can I get a?
I'm coming. I'm coming.
All right, and proceed. How are you guys socializing at the bar?
It's kind of just looking around.
All right, here you go.
Well done.
I think
And
Mrs.
you see him
Baker
kind of
would,
just like quickly throw it back, and he kind of looks around and he leans forward and he says, "Have we had any takers for the thing?" He says, "It says to Dynah."
I don't think I've had anybody interested just yet, but
Come on,
should go
Dynah, you
quick.
have to have something for me. I've been itching. Been out in the forest all day.
I think Mrs. Baker would come out of the kitchen at that point, trying to wipe one hand off on her apron and a tray of danishes in her hand, and oh, I heard my sweet boy was here, and she's gonna go and place the danishes on the bar, and look over. Is that pile of leaves sage?
Oh no, not her. And he kind of like
Yeah,
leans
don't
across
sweep
the
it up
bar.
just yet.
He leans across the bar, grabs one of the danishes, and kind of like gets up and moves 4 seats to the left away from Sage.
You hear the little like pile of leaves closer to the danishes, like a hand reaches out.
Mrs. Baker's gonna ruffle in her pockets and find a little pot of persimmon jam and slide it down the counter towards Sage. Here's your favorite, dear. I made it.
Like, I haven't found any buyers yet, but if you want in advance, I could float you something because I know it's gonna go soon. Hey, you. What would you like again? Kai?
Oh, either a wine or a cider, and I'll take a pair of those danishes.
All right, fantastic.
You should try
can
the
grab
dragon's piss. It's real good.
You should try anything Mrs. Baker makes.
Well, the dragon's
I go
piss, you
ahead
can
and-
try at least one.
It's a special for Dynah brews it. It's real good.
Paige, I hope that wasn't you following me in the forest. I'm getting a bit nervous that every patch of leaves is starting to look like it's moving, and I don't like staying in situations like that.
Oh. No, it's okay. No, too early in. I wanted to like cast a spell and like make my voice come from another part of the room, but I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah,
You should be more afraid of me turning you into the fly that follows around your ear. Because I'll be really annoying.
Please, no, not again.
I'm on.
And he kind of like puts his head down in his hands, and you see him like take the edges of his locks and kind of like pull them down like 2 mud flaps.
Great.
Dynah slides back. All right. I've got a sangria here for you. I mean, something Got orange and pineapple, all kinds of fruits. I don't know what they put in it, but here you go.
I'll take one of those.
All right, she'll take that. She'll take the Danishes, just kind of watching everything that's going on, and start breaking up the pieces of the Danish and feeding it to her shoulder pal.
So there's nothing going upstairs tonight? Nothing at all?
There was a bear out there. I think he was bothering a couple of children. They didn't see me while I was stalking the bear, but I took care of it. But that's every night. That's barely anything new. I need some excitement, something that's gonna get the blood pumping. You know.
Oh,
I can turn
thank
into a
all the
scorpion and
gods.
sting you.
There's no
A what?
fight club?
He kind of like gives like a knowing look and kind of like starts between Mrs. Baker and Dynah, and he just like keeps his head down. He's like, I don't know what you mean. Tips his glass.
Oh Lord. Is it still a secret? Everyone in town knows.
As you all continue to talk, there's a man leaning on the bar, slowly eating a Danish, kind of just taking you all in.
Make sure you pay for that.
Unless you're going to be in the fight club, it's free for the people that are going to be in the. Do you fight?
Mrs. Baker.
What?
Free is the wrong concept. You're on a tab.
You know, I took this gig with every intention of just getting in and getting out, but you guys are fucking in. Alright, so hi. So nice to meet all of you. And I'm glad you're looking for a challenge, because boy, I got one for all of you. And it's weird because it is kind of a package deal. Also, do you know how much effort and coordination it took to get you in this much of a shithole town that we could have this conversation uninterrupted? And as you guys take a moment to kind of look around the
As he says
tavern,
uninterrupted, I want to lean over the bar and like take a napkin and dab the Danish off the side of his mouth. Just
You'll
got a
get
little bit of smuts
you
there,
know
baby.
what?
You'll get used to that.
You know what?
The smuts, it never
all good.
rests.
Oh man, I thought I had ADHD. Alright, so, hey, how's it going? You guys look like you might want to be heroes. And I say that loosely. One of you, ma'am, are you a retiree?
To do with anything, dear.
She's a baker, and she makes very good food. You should be happy that she gives you anything.
Yeah, no, good patisserie, great baking. I like the little curd you got going with the cheese mix in with the Danish. Great consistency.
You should see my knife skills. And I start twirling my knife in my fingers.
Slides the jam out from under the leaves.
He starts to tie up his locks.
I came here to give you guys a series of jobs. But if you guys don't want money or fame or glory, I can go.
Slow down. I didn't say that. Is this a dangerous gig situation?
Generally speaking, existing is dangerous, but like this puts you in the pathway of large creatures, rare locations, get you a lot of attention from, the guys upstairs. This is just like it's a lot of stuff. But first, before I give you that list, I have to have you guys complete a trial task to show that you're like up for everything that's ahead of you. Also, how attached to you are you to this town, and how willing are you to just drop everything and go on like far-reaching adventures?
I live in a tree, so I'm not sure I'm attached. I'm attached to that branch some nights, the rope, so I don't fall out.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm attached to anything else. Dynah, you have people living upstairs. He said,
Yeah, but I don't own the inn. I want to own my own.
right.
My
And
kids
with
and my
money.
grandkids and my great grandkids are already like moved all around everywhere. So, I mean, I would be willing to travel just in case I get to visit.
Oh,
I just make a hole wherever I go, so I'm good.
yeah, you seem the type. Oh, what about you, pretty lady, and your little friend?
Yeah.
What's your deal?
Who are you? I've never. I think I've seen you like once or twice. Who are you?
God. Okay, so names are like so important. It's good. Like, don't even worry about it. I'm just a messenger in all of this. So what I need you to do, and stay with me now because this is a really intense trial. I need you to acquire 3 eggs.
Mrs.
It's right
Baker.
in the kitchen here.
This trial is easier said than done, Mrs. Baker. There should
I
be
have
3
4
eggs in
dozen
the
eggs.
back.
4 dozen eggs?
Yeah.
Prepped and ready.
Oh.
I washed them.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Passed. What's next?
Where
I
was
mean,
So,
I can turn into anything you need and lay an egg if you really need it, if you're getting specific here.
As you guys are talking, you watch one of the Danishes get picked up from one of the taverns by a very happy rodent that is just running off with it.
I dig around for cheese in my pockets and then I put it over there. Onto
Mrs.
the
Baker
bar.
would for sure have pocket cheese.
Yeah.
Pocket cheese.
Mhm.
Wait, no. Okay, yeah, so I should have been more specific because it is specific eggs, but like I like how prepared you guys are and how creative your thinking is. That sounds great. Also, lady, you never answered your thing. What's your deal?
Yes. Who are you?
So yeah, I am local in town. I am somewhat attached, but if this is something that is lucrative, I'm sure that I could make something work.
Yeah, like how attached though? Like, are you I'm gonna stay in my same hometown forever and just marry the person that I've known since I was a child, or stay with me now? Are you the type of person who wants to go out into the world, make an incredible name for yourself, and then have your pick of the litter from like kings and queens and princes and whatever your flavor is of person? Like, I don't know, a general. Like what's your vibe? Do you just want to stay here in this little shithole, or do you want to do something cool?
I mean, this is my hometown, so I prefer if we stop referring to my hometown as a shithole.
Yeah, sure, okay.
As to ambitions, I mean, my skills are definitely outgrowing this place. And I'm tired of hearing the same voices consistently.
Let's touch back on that for a minute, but this guy really sounds like he's doing like an MLM. Like, are we signing up for Mary Kay or like selling leggings? Like, you really give off the vibes of like this pyramid scheme.
You know, in the reality of things, I really think it is a pyramid scheme, but I was sent to recruit you, so I didn't make the rules. I was kind of already in it. So
Who sent you?
but like my boss. Also, you guys are already in it. Like you may not have known always, but like you're already so deep into the thing that the fabric of reality is gonna start to bend around
What?
you. So
What? Hold on, Dynah. I need 3 more drinks in front of me right now. What? What are you talking about?
Were you behind the guy with the wings on the feet chasing me with the piece of paper that I needed to lick? Is that what happened?
I think
Sage, I told you not to
okay.
lick things.
How
Okay,
much do
here's
you
the thing.
sign?
Did that happen, or were you hallucinating?
Ooh.
It's kind of a 70-30 split with her. So we don't.
How many mushrooms did you have?
It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality.
Okay. Were these like DMTs? Like how? What was the quantity like? Like this big, this big.
They were blue.
Okay. So
That was probably really a hallucination.
You know, crazy things happen. And sometimes you just get chased by people with wing feet. Don't overthink it.
winged feet. What are we
I got
talking
a mom.
Okay. Don't. It's fine. Look. I
Min, whatever
deliver.
this is, I will sell your leggings. Or your makeup, or
whatever this is.
what do we have to sell?
Stay with me. Socks, but they don't cover your feet. I call them leg
Leg
warmers.
warmers.
I like the
But no.
Dancing those.
It's so cool. You look so good dancing in them. It's pretty rad. No. Ooh. All right. So here's the thing. I need you to get the vulture's eggs at the top of the graveyard Coliseum thing. That's all I need. I just need you to get me those vulture's eggs. They're really high up. You know, really hard to get to when you're just a dude who has no magical abilities or gifts at all. That's absolutely a fact about me. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm a dude.
Yeah,
You're
and
a
I
dude.
trust.
I would like in general to insight that.
Yeah, if you guys are feeling like an insight check, you could probably make one on this person. They're not
Where's my character sheet?
incredibly good at lying.
So it would seem.
My passive is 14.
Do you want to roll, or do you just want to stick with your passive?
I'll roll.
My passive is kind of high, but
Opening roll of the game is a natural 20.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So that would be a
I
25.
also got a 23.
so
23.
double natural 20s. So
Yeah.
so
All right.
Fuck this guy's motives.
Did Dynah make an insight check?
I think Dinah's making a drink, and Sage
Yeah.
kind of
that has got like 3 drinks to make.
drifted off in the hallucination.
You're fine. No, but all of you start to clock that. Yeah, one, this person
I'm
not a
just-
good liar.
I'm just following along with the adventure.
You're fine. One, this person not a good liar. This person also definitely not just a guy. And I will give with the natural 20 from the psiotics, you pick up the like just under the surface thoughts of like, I don't know why I keep getting volunteered for these tasks. You deliver one message. You end up being the fastest person on Olympus. And now I'm the messenger
Oh, no.
guy.
Oh, no.
Now I have to do all the grunt work. But it's great. I'm going to get to offset a bunch of these tasks on these guys. Otherwise, the Olympians are going to have a fit. And then for your natural 20, yeah, he's for sure lying. But I will give you, for Mrs. Baker and for Ignis, you guys have been on the hard sell of things. What you get from this person is they are genuine when they are saying that this will get you glory and money. But they are definitely not telling you the whole truth of why exactly or what exactly you'd gain from this exchange.
Can we see your feet?
And the guy steps back. He's just a dude wearing sandals.
There's no
Just the
wings.
shortest
Igreus
of tunics.
lifts up his foot and he starts like wiggling his toes. It's like, I don't wear shoes. You know that, Mrs. Baker.
Oh, I like your feet. I pinch your cheeks.
So what's so important about these vulture eggs?
You know, they're not but I was told I had to give you a trial before the other trials start. And I'm running out of things to ask you to do. Like, you guys aren't on your way to Marathon, are you? Because that would be incredibly handy for me, but I think I could get there faster. So, give me some eggs that are relatively hard to acquire, and then I could be like, oh yeah, I totally tested them. They'll survive these hellacious adventures.
I mean, it seems
well,
like a reasonable thing, but I mean, like, it seems like something that you could just fly up and do. And I'm just going to, like, give him a knowing look.
Bonkers. Like, I could do a lot of things for myself, but for whatever reason, they want to see if you can do it.
Well, I like it. I think it'll be a great test of skill. I think we should climb. How high? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Let's go do this.
Real high.
He kind of like stands up from the table, and he's still like holding on to another Danish that he took, and he just takes a big bite, and he's like, "I think we should do this."
Dynah, this place is a shithole. We should just leave it.
But
heck, I'll even watch the bar for you, and I'll leave you my tips.
You won't get a lot. It's a shithole.
No, I didn't figure it would.
She's right. I think I've been in here 5 times this week, and I've never seen more than 3 people in there in this room right now.
Yeah. It's cool. I haven't mixed cocktails in a while, but like I could definitely pour beer and wine. Like I know how to do that. A buddy of mine does it a lot, so.
For it. I left home to do adventure, and I'm just banking here. I mean, I did need to get some money so I could like move on and see the grandkids and the great grandkids, and I can't do that without money. And if I get glory, do you think the grandkids would think that was cool? Like,
I think they would think it was very cool, Mrs. Baker. You're already cool. You make food. So much food.
yeah, but they grew up with good food. Like, they don't think I'm cool.
Your grandchildren are very lucky.
Oh, more cheek squishes.
If it helps, I think you guys are cool. I don't. I got stuck with the babysitting gig. Anyway,
you got more
give me the 3
on your face.
I'm a grown person.
He pulls out a staff out of his like long flowing cloak, and he's like, "Let us be off, wank!" And it's his bird staff of his staff of bird calling.
Oh, yeah. That's right. It makes bird noises. Fantastic. And I don't think she's back. But
I bet Sage is gonna come. She's a little out of it right now. I think I saw her smoking a little something a second ago. But
like she's making direct eye contact and sliding a mushroom in.
There's like you see like a smokestack coming out of the stack of leaves, and everyone's just like, yeah, that follows.
But yeah, so okay.
Minute, guys, just give me a minute, okay? I'm really good at finding shit. Hold on, you're really loud. I won't lose you.
And in case you missed it, they pretty much clocked. This is Hermes. This is for sure Hermes, who's just here.
It is.
And Sage, when all this comes out, he winks at you to be like, "Yeah, I for sure chased you through the woods while we were high as fuck on shrooms." Oh, what?
I'm sorry, Sage. Go ahead.
Oh, I was reveling in my I knew itness.
Do I recognize him? Did he ever come to the bakery for the god cookies?
Oh. Yes, this would have been, like, it takes you a minute because, the neat thing about this particular presentation is it is the most generic looking human man that you've ever seen. Like, he could be a Tyler, a Tom, a Jerry, like he has one of those faces, but as you kind of like the cadence of the voice, the mannerisms,
The schmutz on the face.
Yeah, you put it. This is someone who's definitely not frequented, but has on occasion visited the bakery and gotten the god cookies and things like that.
Does he look like the actual band leader from the Letterman show?
Yes.
Because he voiced Hermes.
Oh, yeah. Not quite. Like, because he has at least some distinguishing features. This person is almost incredibly plain. Like, it's, yeah. he just looks like a dude that you've seen a million of. So unremarkable in his, like, presence that you're just like, wow, you're a person?
Is it like Uncanny Valley? Like he's a little too like distinct. You're just like,
It's all
if you
about the
stare a little too
smell.
long, yeah.
He always smells like
Yeah.
fried chicken because he's been like flying real fast with those wings and they're like lighting on fire. So every time I smell like a fried chicken smell, I know Hermes is in the area.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. He smells
That's
vaguely
right.
fried chicken and moist, because clouds.
That's my theory.
You always get that schmutz all over your face every time I see you.
do you know this person, Mrs. Baker?
I think he's been in for cookies before.
Oh man, I missed your cookies. That stuff was so good. Okay, no, focus. You guys are gonna go, and you're gonna bring me back some eggs.
No.
And then I'll give you stuff. Just get out.
Give me a thing before we leave. Give me a thing.
Give me a thing.
What you got?
A thing.
I like things.
And like, have you ever seen someone with like executive function issues fully dissociate for a minute as they go through their entire inventory in their existence?
Yeah.
That they kind of blue screen for a second?
Generally daily.
Myself.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. Give me a thing. I'll give you a cookie.
Miss Baker likes things.
All right. One, I will show you one of the things you'll get back.
Okay.
And they take a platinum out of their pocket and they go, and they set it on the counter. They're like, you get this when you get back.
I would put that back in your pocket. There's a pile of leaves that just has the tendency to just grab things. I would put that back in your pocket.
That is a valid point.
Same thing with my rats. She has a tendency to snag shit.
But what I can give you right now, right this instant, and they reach back and they pull out a bottle, and they're like, this is a thing.
Mm-hmm. Gimme.
Okay.
What is it?
The bottle itself has a golden ichor to it. And they kind of take a second, think about it for a moment, and he kind of leans in and he's like, I would say that could give you about 5 doses. So sip lightly. And good things should happen to you.
No. Okay, as you finish
That's
saying the last word. Oh.
Is that English stuff?
Uh-oh.
I mean, it has ambrosia in it. That's one of the ingredients. But I think it's funnier if you find out what it does when you drink it.
I'll drink it first.
I stick it in my titties. All right, let's go.
He picks up.
Fantastic.
If she's all right with it, he picks up Mrs. Baker and puts her on his shoulder.
Let's go.
Fantastic. So you all kind of pour out of the Tipsy Titan and beeline it into the sunset towards the graveyard. Well, it'd be closer to a mausoleum because there's not a lot of place to bury people. And it's as you approach the mausoleum where they would inter a lot of the bodies, do a little bit of the preparation. It's you kind of gaze up at the columns to a slow circling vulture. You assume the nest, as you kind of observe and take a moment, is about 30 feet high. On the top of the building. You guys can get 30 feet in the air. There's columns you can climb, all sorts of ways.
So he takes out his bird staff. He kind of looks and he's like, "You all might need a distraction." And he's gonna like focus and try to make a female vulture sound with his staff.
Well, as it is a nest with eggs, you would also know that it's likely a female vulture currently overhead. So maybe a male vulture, or do you want a female vulture?
No, I wanted to think that I wanted to think that its nest is under attack, so it has to go find the other female vulture. Start whirling it around.
That's hilarious. Make a performance check at advantage because you have a bird stick.
Oh, that's 23.
Ooh, fantastic. All right, so while this is going on, because that's going to set the DC for the rest of the things, what are the rest of you doing?
I've got an explorer's pack, so I've got pythons and the rope. I'm going to try to figure out how to climb this thing.
Fantastic. Make a survival check for me. Sage, what are you doing while all this is going on? You got you see the large man just start to swing around the stick.
I'm looking for mushrooms and cracks.
Okay.
We're near a mountain, right? Like a precipice?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm totally looking for mushrooms and also very slightly, subtly looking for anything that could block any wounds from any blockheads falling off and bleeding to death.
Ah, fantastic. Make a survival check with advantage because of your book.
Thank you.
I got a 13
what are you
plus
doing?
whatever.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I got a 13
Dynah,
plus
what'd you
my
roll?
survival, whatever it is. Hold on, let me.
It's wisdom based.
Ooh, 18.
Ooh, okay. 18 total on the herb recovery.
Wait, was it nature?
Yeah, nature is good.
22.
All right, fantastic. Dynah, did you find your modifier?
It's one, it's a 14.
Okay, 14? Fantastic. You don't beef it, but it's taking you longer to set up the rope than you kind of hoped. And Kai, what are you doing while the sticks being swung, the pile of leaves is shuffling off to the side, the dwarf is pulling out a series of ropes and pitons and is just like, yeah, I got this. What are you doing?
So I had to step away for a hot second, so I missed the very beginning of it. So we got to the place. I just heard the descriptions of what all the characters were doing. How high up is
30 feet.
30 feet?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look at the dwarf and people that are just doing everything, and then I'm going to Misty step up there.
Fantastic. And right before that goes off, Mrs. Baker, what are you doing in this chaos?
I had already summoned my unseen servant and told Bubbles to climb up and grab the eggs.
Okay, fantastic. So a series of events is going into play. Because of how high the distraction was, you're not immediately pelted by the vulture. And it seems to make a swooping attack towards Igreus. The rest of you, Sage, you do in fact find a handful of, I don't know, what's a shroom that grows on the side of a mountain?
Blue cat.
Blue cats. Sure, that sounds great. You get a handful of those. In addition, you find good medicinal herbs that can eventually be turned into a healing poultice.
Sweet. I'll chew it. I'll start chewing it up now so it's ready to spread when they're down.
Fantastic. Dynah, can you go ahead and make a wisdom check for me? All right, and then Ankai, you appear at the top of the building in front of the nest, right as the vulture swooshes past you, and you're like, "Oh, it occurs to me that that vulture probably would have attacked me had I just appeared here." Dynah, how's that wisdom check?
You're muted.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out the dice on this thing. Give me a second. It might be easier. I know where they are.
If you hit the +1 next to your wisdom, it'll automatically roll a dice for you.
Oh, that makes so much. Oh, that's right. You told me. 15 plus 1, 16. Yeah.
Fantastic. You see the woman that had left the bar with you appear at the top of the building. And a surge of spite hits you of someone who has constantly been outpaced by people who are taller than you. Go ahead and make an athletics check with advantage to try to get to the top of the building.
Go, shorty. It's your birthday. Go, shorty.
Because all things are possible through spite.
I would like to help by singing. Go, shorty.
Are you going to cast inspiration?
Yes.
Alright,
Okay.
sure. I believe that's a d6.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so add a
good.
d6 to your roll.
Good, because I had an 11 with advantage. Hold on. How do I do a d6?
For that, you could just hit the dice and then d6 and then roll.
There it is. I see it now. Yeah. Did it roll?
I believe in you, Dynah. I believe in you. Back in
It
my
should have
day.
rolled across the screen and like popped up for a second.
I didn't see it. I clicked on it.
Here, I have a 6 right here. You want me to
Did it
roll it for you?
record it? Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so,
just
because
roll it.
like, numbers are going up, but it's not giving me what.
I rolled you a 5.
Yay!
So it's a 16. Okay, fantastic. So that's gonna take
Oh,
your turn as you're like scrambling up.
I figured out how to do it, by the way. But I'll
Fantastic.
take the.
Now for Igreus. The vulture's gonna attack you. You're making noise. You seem like a threat. I don't imagine a 9 hits you.
It does not.
Alright. But fantastic news, you are now in melee with the vulture that is, like, flying in your face.
Okay, so do I need to roll initiative?
Yeah, let's go ahead and properly roll into initiative at this point as we're all starting to, like, actively cause havoc.
21.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
22.
Wow. And Mrs. Baker.
Woo. And I'm still down there with you, by the way, so I didn't move away.
Oh, 4. It was terrible.
4 for Sage.
Yes.
So proud of you.
Okay, I'm gonna come in the background with just havoc.
Alright, and Kai, where are you at?
5.
And Dynah, where are you?
I rolled an 18.
Fabulous.
Exactly.
All right. So Mrs. Baker, you shuffle a little bit next to your friend as he's being harried by this vulture. What are you doing?
I'm still on his shoulders, so.
Oh, you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, I sent my unseen servant up. I don't know what he's doing. I had already given him instructions. Bubbles.
Yeah.
So
Bubbles.
I would like to take the knife out of my belt and jump off of Ignis's shoulders and stab the bird.
Okay. Roll to attack.
Oof, that's not good. That's an 8.
Yeah, no, that does not hit the vulture. As you kind of and you land on the ground next to your companion, knife out, ready for anything. Do you want to do anything with your bonus action?
Ugh.
My sciatic.
Any bonus
Valid.
actions or otherwise?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give as a bonus. I'm gonna I'm
Again, table rule. You can also cast Vicious Mockery as a bonus action.
That's what I'm gonna do. I forgot about your table rule. Hell yeah. I'm gonna
I can be mean and stab someone.
you dumb bird. We're just trying to make scrambled eggs from your children.
That's so messed up. And it rolled so low. Do your damage.
Alright.
It also has disadvantage on its next attack.
My damage is 1d4. And I got max damage. Haha.
Ooh! A whopping 4 points of psychic damage. Vultures actually make really horrible noises. So it makes that, like, cackling, screechy noise in pain as the words sink in. Ignis, what are you doing? There's a bird screaming in your face.
How close is it?
Melee. You can reach it.
5 feet. Okay, so he kind of spins the staff in his hand and he points directly up to its face, so its eyes cross because he has his fingers in the center of his face, and he says, "Stroke of Radiance," and he casts Fairy Fire directly in his face, and that's a dex of 14.
Uh-huh. This is a 13.
Yeah.
I was so close.
So they are outlined in blue, green, or violet light. I choose violet. So it says that any creature in the area when the spell is cast is also outlined in light if it fails a dexterity. So it's only pointed at him. But
it's still a 20-foot radius, but I imagine you're like a decent way away from the building. And the ones who are up are 30 foot above you. And I imagine Mrs. Baker is like right next to you, so it's just a puff.
Right.
And so like the columns are really pretty and covered in glitter
and violet light. And so you guys
and you can see the outline of the invisible serpent.
Yeah, invisible.
Fun fact:
invisible serpent.
Unseen servant. Bubbles from Mrs. Baker.
I didn't tell anybody.
Weird.
So.
Yeah, so you see a invisible humanoid shape shuffling up the side of a pillar, like full koala style, just.
So you guys get advantage on the vulture. You also have your rule. Is it a rule you can do a cantrip as a bonus action?
Certain cantrips. What cantrip do you want to do?
Firebolt.
Yeah, technically that one would be an action to do. The ones that I allow as bonus actions are like Blade Ward, the one that gives you advantage. True Strike, that one, and Vicious Mockery.
Okay. And he is going to move to the left of the creature, not out of melee, but like just to the left. of the creature. And that's it.
Just a jump to the left. Got it. All right, so that takes us to Dynah. Dynah, you have reached the top of the building. Kai is there, and there is a nest in front of you, and there are 5 eggs in the nest.
Right to the top. Okay. Let's go ahead and I have a pouch somewhere. I try to pull it out and start putting the eggs in the pouch. How big are these eggs? Do they fit in the pouch?
Yeah, they're like this big.
Okay. So
They're pretty standard eggy size.
I put them in the pouch. I try to. I'm trying to see if I have anything that I could wrap them in. I have traveler's clothes in there somewhere that I'd probably just wrap them in clothes and put them in the thing so that they're a little protected from the bounties and trouncies.
Get them wrapped up. I could take them right down so they're not bouncing around.
There you go.
Okay. All right. That sounds that sounds like a good plan because that's a lot of movement for one action. So you're like pulling things out, getting things ready. So you pull out your like casual tunic, kind of fluff it out, and you're starting to roll the eggs. Like I worked at the holiday store during Christmas time. You get them all wrapped.
If I have a bonus action to like draw the crossbow and have it ready after I hand off the pouch to Ankai.
Yeah. You'll be able to like kind of have the crossbow out. You're not going to have a readied action.
No.
But you'll have it available to you. So next round you can just grab it and point.
Perfect.
Fantastic. It's the vulture's turn. It's very exciting. The vulture is now very upset. But now it's upset at the woman who was mean to it. And it's a little dazed. From the glitter in its eyes and the fact that she was really mean to him. So with disadvantage, it's going to make a swipe at you. So first of all, be so glad that you cast Mistress Mockery. That was a natural 20.
Oh,
but instead, it was a 6 total of 9. And I don't imagine that
not
hit you.
hit. No,
All right.
Mrs.
Uh,
Mrs. Baker's gonna like stop it. Stop it. No.
It's a
No.
little like put out by the fact that you're just not scared of it. So that ends the vulture's turn as it you know what? No. It's gonna fly back up because when glitter was thrown at, then you were mean to it, and it hears a kerfuffle up by its nest. So it's going to move up back to the top.
Attack of opportunity.
That is correct. So you guys both at advantage. If you guys both want to take a swing at it.
Good, because I was a 3. Okay, that was a 19. Or 24.
24 points of damage?
No. Oh,
or no, 24
right.
to hit. Yeah, no. A 24 hits a bird.
Yeah.
What about you, Mrs. Baker?
I rolled a 22 and got 8. I rolled max damage.
Oh, awesome. All right, so 8, and then what's the damage from Ignis?
11.
Okay. As it like screeches in your face and begins to flap backwards, I imagine Mrs. Baker, because of the height differential, you do the whole classic chuck the butcher's knife at it. Ignis, as it kind of comes up, you see the knife stick in it just as your staff comes down, skewering the bird to your staff.
Nice.
And it falls limp, though vaguely attached to your staff.
He kind of like puts his foot on its back and kind of like pulls the staff away.
Yeah, it's gross.
And puts it away.
Your staff of bird calls had wings there for a second.
Yeah, it did. I guess.
That's it. And Kai, it's now your turn.
So there was just the one vulture, correct?
That you currently know of.
Okay. Yeah. So then I'll just do the Misty Step again down to the floor since I have the eggs.
Okay. So you, so Dynah, you're like, I wrapped them, and kind of goes, yeah, cool, thanks. Oh, what does your Misty Step look like, for flavor purposes? Like,
I imagine that since she's very psionic in nature, that it's just like instead of like a poof of smoke like it normally would be, it's just kind of like a fading of like a mirage.
oh, okay, I like it. So
Ooh,
it just slowly
an
fades
after
away.
image fade.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and then just
No,
like
no shade, but what? No BAMF?
All right. So that is your part of your movement to take the sack. Your bonus action. Do you do anything with your action?
I honestly I don't see anything that is like a threat at the moment, so no.
Okay. All right. So that takes us to Sage. Fistful of mushrooms, mouthful of herbs. What you doing?
Sounds like a fun time.
This is the most goblin druid I've seen that's not a goblin.
I was so close to playing one too. I was looking at my spells. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do that and do other thing. I cast Thorn Whip. Because we still have the vulture going on, right? Or did you guys take care of that?
The vulture you saw is now dead.
Heck yeah, then I don't have to cast that shit. Is anybody falling?
Not at this moment.
Oh, sweet. Then I'm just gonna like take that like ground up, mushed up stuff that I had made for healing, and I'm like, oh, no blood? No blood. Okay, cool. And then you see me like pull out this leaf from my pocket, and you just see the like I'm like rolling this thing. It looks like a joint, but I'm putting it away to put the schmutz on you for later. No one's gonna know it's coming until it hits them.
Haunting and beautiful. Make a note that you have a poultice worth 1d4 points of healing.
Yes.
It's that druid spit that really takes it to the next
Oh
level.
yeah, for sure.
The dedication. For healing.
That takes us
Thank
back
you.
to the top at Mrs. Baker.
I'm sorry, I'm also like, I'm making snacks for the kids. They're still up, so I'm trying to get that done and play at the same time.
You're
Oh,
fine.
you're totally fine.
Yeah, you're good.
Thanks, guys.
Mine are in the kitchen.
All right, so yeah, that's my entire move. Like, I'm here like, oh, heck yeah. I'm prepped for the next one. Total stoner in the corner over here. Like, oh, we're done? Cool. Puts hands in pockets and shuffles.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. All right, Mrs. Baker, we're back at the top.
I'm immediately like field dressing the vulture, and I'm already plucking the feathers out.
Oh yeah. Okay, good. Because I was
Yeah.
gonna pick that thing up and say, Mrs. Baker, can you cook this?
Yeah, I'm already
Okay.
already on top of that rose. I am like plucking and looking around, like head on a swivel, looking around for any trouble.
Okay.
Oh, and then I yell,
Fantastic.
Bubbles! Bubbles, get down off of that pole! They already got the eggs! Bubbles!
I can have the wishbone, please.
So it's gonna take your full action because you're making 2 checks here. Make a survival check to kind of start field dressing the vulture. The DC is low. You've done this before.
Okay.
And then when you're done with that, make a perception check. This DC is higher because you're doing 2 things at once. But what you guys see is the outlined figure of a humanoid kind of loosens its grip and sadly, the worst sad stripper pole slide down the pillar as it just kind of like, okay. Just kind of sinks back down after making it like 2/3 of the way up. It's like, okay, got it.
I got a 13. I got a 13 on the survival and a 22 on the perception.
Can I call out to
Fabulous.
her
That
real
is
quick?
the. Huh?
Can I call out to her real quick when I see her field stripping? Save me the feathers, the beak, and the talons.
I got the wishbone. I got the wishbone for Sage.
Perfect. And also that is the exact order you wanted to roll those two things in. So yeah, you've stripped birds before. It's kind of like a turkey in the general sense of fowl preparation. And it's in the distance that you kind of see. Oh, those are probably black feathers of either a small bird relatively close by or a large bird very far away.
Oh Lord!
If so, you probably want to shuffle before that thing closes the distance.
Is it a cockatrice?
You just see a bird flying in the distance.
Okay. Is it?
You know, turkeys or vultures usually mate and have a partner in life.
Yeah, I'm so totally doing a nature check on that shit, but I'm pretty sure that it's her mate.
Yeah, probably. That takes us to Igneus. What you doing?
He puts his staff away and he kind of like puts his hands on his hips and he says, "Do you need me to carry that, Mrs. Baker?" Oh, she vanished.
Oh no!
Just let me know when you're done. I'll carry it for you. And he kind of like looks up in the towards the other bird, and he's like, "That thing looks pretty big, and it's coming this way."
Hey, guys, let's get out of here.
And he kind of like he looks at his hands, and this like white orb starts to appear in the center of his hand.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Zagreus, I hope you're watching this." And he kind of like spins on his heels and he throws his hand forward towards where that bird is coming. And it shoots off and then bursts into 3 darts. It starts firing directly at the bird as he casts what he calls Hellseekers. And they're actually just magic missile at first level.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, those hit. Roll the damage. They cannot impact miss.
Right.
Sorry, guys. Parental controls on the internet.
Oh.
I forgot to turn it off.
Ooh, that's essentially max damage. So that's 14.
Okay. So you have this beautiful moment, and you release this energy, and it's beautiful, majestic, and what everyone else sees, magic, cast. And somewhere in the distance, the bird goes, eh! It like drops for a second, and, like picks itself back up. It's not dead. That was a lot of damage in one round to do to a bird. Dynah, you have, especially after watching the magic cast, you've been drawn to the attention that there is a bird, I would say maybe 2 rounds from you, so about 12 seconds away. You have 2 remaining eggs left in the nest. There is a dead vulture on the ground, and you're on a 30-foot high building. What you doing?
I thought I put all 3 in the pouch. Oh dear. Okay.
Oh, there was 5. There was 5 eggs.
Oh,
so you took 3 of them.
Got it. Okay, good to know. Okay, so I'm looking at the eggs. I'm on top of the pole, and I'm like, okay, that might be my ride down. Let's see how close it gets to me. Hold the crossbow out, see if it's gonna come swipe up at me, or if Igreus is gonna distract it enough so that I can jump on it. If it swipes at me, I have a readied action with the crossbow to try to hit it in the face.
Are you ready to theoretically link chicken glide off the column?
I'm ready for it.
I'm hoping it was a distraction enough.
I hope that happens more than anything, More than anything. Okay, yeah, all right.
No fear.
So
I got fear. I couldn't make it up those trees, but Dinah's got this.
okay. Yeah, so you're holding your action. And in this case, I'll allow, because you have a feeling it's going to be 2 rounds, and you know mechanically you go ahead of it. So this round, I'll allow you to hold an attack, and then assume next round that you're holding the catch
Hold
to
on.
see if
With,
you can grab
with
on.
2 rounds, can I hit it with a crossbow to just try to avoid it? Or is that too far away?
Right now, because it has 40-foot fly speed, so it's 80 feet away from you. What type of crossbow do you have? A light crossbow
I
or
think it was
heavy?
the light crossbow right now. I'm trying to get a hand crossbow to do the thing, but we'll worry about that later.
I believe light crossbow has a max? What is your max distance on your light crossbow?
Mm,
Okay, so, oh no, you can comfortably shoot 80 feet and up to 320. That is so far. But the past 80 is at disadvantage. But yes, you could theoretically hit it.
all right. Well, I'll
So
aim
yeah.
at it. I'll give it a shot, and then I'll reload it. So that'll be my.
Mhm.
I will take the one shot because I was like, yeah, it's hit already. If I have to climb down this thing and not worry about it, then we'll do that. All right. So we roll for hit.
Mhm.
Oh no.
Not 1 with a +2. That's 3.
Oh no.
Fantastic.
I should have held it.
You're taking this moment. You're like, can I hit it? Can I hit it? And you're like, I for sure can hit it. You raise that light crossbow. You take aim, and you hear the awful noise of a misfire, of that twing of the bow clicking, but the arrow not catching. And you're like, oh, dry firing this too many times is probably going to be super bad.
I knew I shouldn't have used something I didn't make myself.
And so you have this moment of like, do you want a bonus action reload, or are you gonna start putting it away?
I'll do the reload, but
Mm-hmm.
I had something for this. Oh, in my head, if it does come at me, depending on how things go, I'm gonna throw the crossbow at its face, especially now after what it just did to me, and use that as the distraction to try to climb on its back. Let's go.
Okay, so that's gonna come around next turn because you have the one. That's fine.
But I have the plan ready.
So like bonus action, you're reloading it, but you're essentially no longer holding it by the handle, but more like a club. And you're just like
ready for it.
Yep.
Come on.
So funny.
I had to step away for a hot second, so I had to put Persephone back. What happens after my turn?
Well, let's see. So dead vulture. In the distance, there was another vulture identified approaching. It got shot with magic missile. It dropped for a second, but didn't stop flying. And then Dynah had a misfire on her bow.
And then physically threw the crossbow at it.
Not yet. They're preparing to.
When it gets close enough, I'm gonna throw it at it as a distraction and jump on it. We're gonna do this.
Fantastic. It's the vulture's turn. It's gonna spend its turn moving. It doesn't get into range yet. And Kai, what are you doing? You got the eggs.
So, just to clarify, the vulture is how far away at this point?
Currently 40 feet.
Okay. And it's just a regular vulture, right?
It is very large.
Okay, so what we'd classify as a giant animal.
Well, as we people, giant in mechanical speaking, for a bird, it'd be a medium-sized creature, which for a bird is very concerning.
I mean, vultures are very big fucking animals.
Yeah, and it's a very big vulture.
Okay, let me take a quick look at my spells, because I don't want these eggs to break, so I might try to end this quickly. Okay. So I'm going to attempt to hit it with Tasha's Mind Whip.
Ooh.
It must make an
Okay.
intelligence saving throw. For me, that's a DC 14.
Okay, it is a perfectly passable DC. Like it's achievable. But I just want to point out it's a bird. Yeah, okay. That's a 9 minus 3. I don't think a 6 would succeed.
It does not. Let me
Alright.
get my dice real quick.
Bird.
So 10 points of psychic damage,
Mhm.
and it is not able to make a reaction until the end of its next turn. Additionally, on its turn, it must choose to either move, do an action, or a bonus action. It can only do one of the three.
Oh, interesting. Alright. So you I'm assuming for the effect and kind of how you described it, so there's like a ripple mirage effect through the air that the others kind of catch briefly, and you see the bird just start screaming. But in this moment, because one, it is closer, two, it is in pain and not able to like obscure itself, you see one, that the head is definitely a skull, two, it is a very large bird, and three, you figured that this is going to be a much tougher thing than you already dealt with. So that you guys put that together as it kind of screams in agony. But it's still alive. It's just not happy. Sage,
And
you see all
for
this?
well, for my move as well, I'm going to try to get cover best as I can away from the thing.
So based on where you're at, you could either go slightly towards it, but try to like duck inside the mausoleum and get coverage, or you could start booking it back towards the city, but you'd go through exposed area.
I'll go into the mausoleum.
Okay, so you kind of like tuck around the corner. All right,
Yeah.
cool beans. Sage, you're watching this all go down. What you doing?
Oh, I was trying to figure out if I could like I was thinking about casting sorry, my little person. I was thinking about casting the fog cloud like down below around us, but I'm not sure. I don't know. Like,
It would
sorry, I'm
affect
in a
us
big
as
like
well.
pardon?
It would affect us as well.
Which is what I was a little worried about. Sorry, I'm trying to figure it out with
You're
this.
fine.
See what she's gonna be doing right now. So I'm gonna go try to put him to bed again. She takes out her stick and cash shillelagh
Ooh.
and basically is ready to throw down some shit.
Okay. I believe Shillelagh is a bonus action. So
It
you
is.
you do the baton pull out and you go let's go. And so you're gonna hold your action if it gets in melee with you to hit it.
Yes, for right.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you want to move closer to your compatriots so like you're kind of a centralized target?
Yes, please. Put me amongst them. I'm still like a pile of leaves. I'm just a little bit more humanoid looking.
Mhm.
But I'm ready to go. Basically, I'm ready to jump into it. Featherfall, I can't find it. Is that like not available to me right now? I can't remember. It's been at least a year since I played.
I believe Featherfall is not a druid spell.
No.
That's what I thought. Okay, cool. Then I'm good because I can't do jump because I can't touch because I wanted to like help Dynah. So I was like looking up what I could help Dynah with, but that I don't have anything.
Well, you can use your action as a help action though. Like if you can think of a way to
Basket catch.
down.
Or you can hold your action for
Yeah.
the next time.
I'll hold it because I've got I'm ready to cast Thorn Whip if it gets anywhere near me.
Well, that's the thing. So, you cast Shillelagh, which is your bonus action. As of right now, I have you holding your action to hit it with that Shillelagh, which would do theoretically more damage than Thorn Whip.
Oh,
But
hell yeah.
you could hold Thorn Whip instead and pull it even closer if you need to.
Ooh, that's true.
It should be in the range of Thorn Whip now, isn't it?
15 feet is
50 feet?
no. What is?
How high is it off the ground?
Yeah, that's the thing. When you factor the Pythagorean theorem,
I think it's
because
I think it's a 10-foot reach.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember
You can pull
correctly.
it 10 foot. You can pull it 10 foot.
you can
But
pull it 10 foot,
I
but the
think
range
it's
of the spell,
30 foot is the range of the spell.
that's the thing. I think it's 30
We'll
foot.
go look. We'll go look. Hold on.
Or was it only
What-
40 feet away? So
Yeah,
Oh no,
it was
it's 30 feet. It's 30 feet.
Yeah, so it's still too far to hit at this point, even not factoring the angle. So it's still currently too far away because it's 30 feet up and then 40 feet away. So even at 40 feet away, it wouldn't hit at this point. So you can hold Thorn Whip for it. So if it does move that 40 feet forward, you can like also pull it down.
Like double fisting 2 spells. I'm here for this.
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna hold Thorn Whip to see if you can, once it gets within range, and just kind of grab it down. All right.
Perfect.
Got it.
you have your scorpion moment.
Yeah. Get over here.
Thank you for catching that.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
I'm here, but I'm not.
All right, I got you. So that takes us back to the top of the round, Mrs. Baker.
Mrs. Baker is starting to get a little irritated. So she is going to, she wants to be back and get her money, and she looks at the bird and she starts to whisper. Now you listen here, you shitty little bird. I don't have time for this. I don't want to deal with you. Your own parents probably didn't want to deal with you. That's what happened, right? Your parents didn't want you. Is that why you're so ugly? Look, you're a skull. What is wrong with you? Why don't you turn around? Just turn around and get away from me, just like your parents wanted you to get away from them. I can just tell. And that's Dissident Whispers.
So I have a
And
quick question.
Yeah.
Does that partially hurt Igreus in any way?
well, it's
Oh,
only
no.
the bird could hear, I think. But I mean, unless we want to.
Yeah, this would be really under a breath, and I'm assuming in Halfling that you're kind of mumbling this as you're casting the magic and willing it forward. So you just kind of hear Mrs. Baker mumbling to herself, like you've heard her mumble to herself hundreds of times. She fusses as she works. The bird is hearing all of this though, and despite not speaking any humanoid language, is very hurt. What kind of is that a save?
It's a wisdom save, 14 DC. It's in terrible pain and yeah, gonna be
12.
Okay, so that's a fail. So it's going to take 3d6 psychic damage. That's 11, but it also has to immediately run away from me. So it has to turn around like I told it to. And run away as fast as it can.
So as this takes hold, and Mrs. Baker, you feel that the viscera of your words sink in. The bird itself starts to smolder. It's still up, but it's like billowing black smoke from itself. Ignis, the bird's smoking.
Cool.
Does
He
it turn and run? It has to use its reaction to run away.
Oh, it has to use its
Yeah.
reaction to run away? Yeah, so, wait. It doesn't have a reaction right now because of the mind whip.
Oh, yep.
It's having a hard time
Yeah.
right now.
Poor bird.
Its brain is not doing great.
It's
So,
got executive function.
Yeah.
so he kind of like bends down. You see his knees bend,
Mhm.
and he kind of murmurs, "Anybody for smoked chicken?" And he sprints the full 30 feet, slides to a stop, and throws his hand forward. And as that happens, he is going to cast what he calls Grasp of the Underground, which is just burning hands. And the remaining 15 feet, which since it didn't have a reaction, is still in the same 40-foot span at the hypotenuse, he definitely hits it.
Yeah.
Or it has a deck save of 14, so.
I'm gonna give it at disadvantage because it's not doing great.
Right.
Because that seems fair. It doesn't succeed.
Okay. So that is 11 damage.
Uh-huh. Fire damage specifically?
Yes, fire damage.
In that case, it's within your range. It certainly takes some of the damage, but you see as you get closer that there are crackles of fire underneath the blackened feathers. It's probably not as subjected to fire as you would hope.
Okay, so he shouts. Can he shout back as a bonus action? This chicken's smoked but not cooked. I need a little bit more.
Fantastic. Dynah, it is still 40 feet away from you. It is currently smoldering and floundering in the air.
Incoherent rage. Okay, let's do this. Rebuilds. Tries to fix the crossbow or reloads the crossbow and takes another shot.
Okay. Question. In your infinite rage and wisdom, I believe this is a bonus action, but let me double check. It is a bonus action. Would you have imbued it with any magical power, such as magic weapon, as
Magic
you kind
weapon?
of like feel the energy enter the crossbow? It's typically for melee, but I think it's funnier.
Sure. Let's see.
'Cause
Touch,
then
magic weapon, bludgeoning. Oh, it
because
adds bludgeoning.
it doesn't add bludgeoning. It adds a +1 bonus to attack and damage, so it gives
Okay.
you a +1 to your rolls. So all I'm saying is you kind of like you're like, this is gonna work this time, and as you're kind of like fixing it together, the divine energy is leaving your hands. So
Magic
that could be
weapon
your
sounds
bonus
good.
action.
Or it could be unintended.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, let's do that, and then we'll do the crossbow light. All right, let's go. Hook this
So
bird.
go ahead and cast that second level spell, and then roll the hit, and it should add that extra one die or that +1 to it.
Okay, so that's going to be a 15 to hit, and the spell will be a +1 to the damage, right?
And to hit both. It applies to both.
Oh, so 16 to hit.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that hits.
Okay, and then damage will be the 1d8. Piercing 6 + 1 is 7.
7 points of damage. Okay. Fantastic. So yeah, that will in fact do it. So as you're just like you're gonna fucking hit this time, and you just kind of level the crossbow, in your spite and rage, you release the arrow, and Ignis right above you. You see it smoldering and smoking and smoldering and smoking, and then, and it's a second, that delay, that moment of the arrow hitting the bird. Everything kind of stops for a second. and then billowing black smoke engulfs you as you are covered in exploded bird.
He closes his eyes and like stretches his arms out on either side.
Save
The
the
rest of you-
wings. Want to fly this bird.
So Dynah, you're sitting there, you're yelling, and then the black cloud of smoke is getting closer. It's getting closer. It's getting closer, and like just ahead of you starts to dissipate, and you're like, okay.
Interesting. So there's nothing coming back for these two. I guess we're having omelets for breakfast.
Yes. Sage, you better pick up some herbs for the omelets.
Very dark in here.
I love how you assume I don't already have them.
You need to replenish too. I was just saying, keep an eye out. Jeez.
Points. Good point. Good point.
I hear we're going to be
Igneous-
going on a trip, so we better stock up.
That is true. Ignis, as you sit in the dark and kind of wait for the smoke to dissipate, you hear a familiar voice, like to your left, and he goes, "Hey, you did a really good job there. I'm proud of you."
I bet you never did it like that, brother.
No, I don't have those skills. I'm really impressed with you. I'll see you on the other side of all this. I'm really rooting for you. And the voice fades. Light returns to you, and you're standing. You're covered in soot. As you kind of look around, as the ground is just covered in this fine black powder, you kind of kick it around a second, and you see the bird skull, which is currently covered in soot and ash, and I will give you one untouched feather.
Okay. So I pick up the feather and I take the skull and I put it on top of my head. Is it big enough to fit on his head?
Yeah, actually, because it's very large. So it doesn't like fully go over your head, but like it can balance pretty well. And maybe if you have it just a little bit more hollowed out, you could probably fit it a little bit better. But as it is, it kind of just balances in that little curvature. So
Okay. So I take it back and then I bend down and I take the knife that Mrs. Baker like implanted in the other vulture and I say, "Can I use this really quickly?"
As you're bent down to do that, she's like nodding her head, but while she's doing that, she's licking her thumb, and she starts like wiping the soot off your face.
And he just like allows it to happen because he's like staring at this knife, and he uses the knife to start like chipping away at the base because he's gonna turn this skull into a helmet.
I'm just saying, like, I really feel Mrs. Baker needs prestidigitation, like, available to her, and that's like the little licking on the thumb thing is her.
But you know what's funny?
Thing where it doesn't matter how far she is, she can get the schmutz off.
Yeah,
like
this.
The funny thing is, Igreus has prestidigitation. He just lets Mrs. Baker do it.
I love it.
Yep.
Mom's got a mom.
Perfect. Yeah, so you start whittling at it. While this is happening, Dynah, you're still on the roof, and so you're taking those 2 eggs. How are you getting down?
I still have the rope with the python. I'm looking down at everybody. I was like, nobody's gonna. All right, fine.
Catch you.
I put a.
Catch you.
Ah.
Jump.
Okay.
That's gonna
Assassin's Creed off the side. I swear, do
I'll
it.
catch you. I will catch you. Just jump.
1, 2.
I scoot out of the way.
I see an abnormally shiny rock on the ground and forget I'm catching somebody.
Are you gonna get distracted, or do you want to try to catch them?
I'm going to catch them. I'm not gonna let them get hurt.
Because you had a moment, so I will give you advantage athletics to catch, and then for Dynah, advantage acrobatics. Well, No, because it could be strength based. I'll allow athletics as well to try to like coordinate the fall and safely land without taking any damage.
Okay, so I rolled an 18 at advantage.
Fantastic. And Dynah, how'd you do?
With the advantage. Oh.
Oh god. Oh no.
Okay. So the first one I rolled with the advantage was 22 total. The second one was a nat 1, so I don't know if you do the one cancels out the other. Okay, then it's
Oh
22.
no,
It's
not
a 22.
advantage. Okay, fantastic. So Ignis like moves in and is in the right position to catch you. But you feel Dynah kind of slide further than you would like in your hands, and you're like, oh no, no, no. And then Dynah's hands catch your shoulders, and you didn't realize how strong she was as she pushes it on your collarbone and like stabilizes herself.
I got you,
And you're like,
Dynah.
but no damage is accrued. You don't damage the eggs.
I go,
And you
good job, you passed the trust test. Little pat on the cheek. Now put me down.
You didn't trust me before, and he puts Dynah down on the ground.
No, that was showing you that I trusted you.
Oh, and he reaches in his pocket. He's like, I found one feather. I'm sorry.
No, you can have it. I wanted the wings. We'll get more wings. It's fine.
How big is this feather?
It's substantially long, like a foot and a
Oh,
half.
that's definitely going into his hair 100% immediately. So I need to write down now that I have
Almost
a
as
vulture.
tall as Mrs. Baker.
We'll find a rock somewhere, and that's what I'll.
All right. So you guys are all loaded up, and you're making your way back to the tavern.
Mm-hmm.
Or
We
no?
saved the stuff from the other vulture. Do you got the beak, the talons, anything?
I got it all right here.
Cool.
How big was this vulture feather?
The vulture feather that you got from the smoking vulture, that was a foot and a half. Like it was a big vulture, big wings.
Okay. Okay, great. Fantastic. Okay, so we need to take this stuff back to that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think so.
Yeah. As we're walking back, can I talk to Dynah and be like, listen, if we're going like on a journey, if this guy is like legit, if this is like really Hermes and he's like legit, do you think you can make me like a baby Bjorn?
Baby
So I
Bjorn.
could, yeah.
Am I
So
going to have to carry everybody?
yeah, just so I could like.
Nobody's carrying me, Big Shot. It's all good.
No, not you. For me, so
Yeah.
he can carry me.
I got leather worker tools. I can make you something nice and protected. It's gonna have like leather on the back, double sided. Make it. I could stick a steel plate in there. Just make it. Yeah, I got you.
Let's and then I can like shoot off of it. Like, yeah, it can be tactical.
Sounds nice. Oh,
Tactical halfling Bjorn.
I'm also thinking about the vulture beak and like putting it on the pommel like this, so you could just be like, oh, tap.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that would
a
be cool.
strike.
Right?
Ooh. You always have the best ideas, Dynah.
So and Kai, are you kind of like peeking out from the mausoleum?
Yeah, like I was just once everything's all said and done, I'd be like, it's gone, I think, right?
Yeah, it's gone. We killed it. Yeah, it's gone.
All right, excellent. Good
I got to
teamwork.
keep gold though. He's still like chopping at the bottom of it so he can hollow it out.
Fantastic.
I didn't say it yet, and Kai, that's your name, right?
Yes.
I'm Mrs. Baker. I've seen you, but I don't think we properly were introduced.
I don't think that we were either.
Oh.
It's nice to meet you.
It's
Oh,
a
I'm
pleasure
sorry.
to meet you too.
My brother calls me Igreus.
Pleasure. It's Ann Kai.
You don't see anybody else here with me. I know
She
it's good.
doesn't. She doesn't question it.
And I'm Dynah. You ordered wine, or I would have introduced myself earlier.
Ha!
I mean, I've been at the establishments a couple of times, but I guess I didn't leave much of an impression.
We've been in battle now, though. So bond of blood.
You have really nice compost.
What?
Sage is my favorite person in the whole world.
I love them so much. So the
Shuffle,
sun
shuffle,
is set.
shuffle, shuffle.
Uh, the sun is setting. The lamplighters make their trade as the streetlights begin to come on in the evening hustle and bustle, and the people who have been drinking since noon are out and about. And you see, what are they called? The something band.
The people who've been drinking this since dude have been out and about. Yeah, I just killed a vulture. I don't.
Yeah.
It's just
What are they called? The members of the sacred band are out and about in their shortest tunics and highest strappy sandals and their leather daddy mustaches. Going out, having a good time with their partners. For those of you who remember, the Sacred Band were a group of 300 partnered and queer male soldiers that protected Thebes, and they were one of the strongest armies that ever existed.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
definitely gonna slap one on the ass when we pass by.
They giggle and wink at you as they continue on with their partner.
Good boys. Good
It's
boys.
once it gets dark, it goes full leather bar, but like the entire city.
it's Greece. I
Yeah.
doubt it.
Yeah. So the nightlife is kicking off, and you zigzag through the streets, and the hopping and happening gets quieter and quieter, and then you start hearing the noise of crime, the sound of breaking bottles, the maybe a distant yell of displeasure, and you approach the Tipsy Titan,
Home sweet
which
home.
has one of the barely hanging on blue shutters just falls off as you walk in. And you see, leaned across the bar, the gentleman who had given you this task to begin with. The bar is, in fact, empty. And he's just waiting.
The cat wants attention.
Hey!
See, the cat wants attention so bad. Okay.
I know, Henry is a big baby, and he is very spoiled.
My
So
Henry is the youngest kid.
So how many tips did you get?
I got a copper.
That's good. That's more than
yoink.
Yeah, that tracks.
The real question is anybody asked about Fight Club?
Nobody.
Is that what that person was talking about? They kept winking at me.
Yes.
So
I don't know what they wanted.
Igreus goes over and he grabs him by the collar and he says, "What did they look like?"
Looks like a guy, human, little rotund, but like broad
They
shoulders.
all look.
Um,
Oh, that's Bob. He would never have been a good fight anyway.
His
Yes,
name
but
is Robert Paulson.
yes, but I like hitting him.
Would bring any good money.
He's a
at
very
all.
good punching bag.
he seems like someone you'd want to hit, so I get it.
Feels nice. And then you buy him food afterwards.
We got
That's
your
the way to
egg.
do it. You got my eggs.
Yeah.
Awesome. Come on.
I do thaumaturgy, or what he calls Arcana of the Underworld, and make he reaches in his pocket and he pulls out what looks like an egg because he hasn't seen these eggs, so it just looks like a generic egg, and it has like stars and colors all over it. So he doesn't know what the egg looks like.
If you offer it to him, he takes it and he's like, "Ah, fantastic!" And he does this, and it vanishes.
Yeah,
All right. Like he pulls his hands apart and he's like, "I don't believe that was the correct egg."
Well, I didn't say that was the egg. I was just saying we got your eggs, and Can you give him the eggs?
Yeah.
I don't have them. I think Dynah has them.
Oh, I gave him to. I gave him to the other one.
Ankai. Where's Ankai? Where is Ankai?
Yeah, Ankai will produce the eggs.
Fantastic. He takes them from you one at a time, and each time he immediately crushes it in his hand, and a red feather appears.
I got a black one of those.
Okay. One. Why do you have a black one? Smash. Two.
Well, this other really big one came, and then we kind of killed it. I'm gonna turn its skull. He takes out the skull. I'm gonna turn its skull into a helmet. It's very big.
That's a big fucking bird. All right. So these 3 feathers, as a boon for completing your task, you only got me 3 eggs, so I can only give you 3 feathers.
Oh, wait.
I thought we got 5 eggs.
Well, but I was gonna do something with them, and you're gonna smash them. I was gonna ask if you were gonna use the other ones, and then you smash them.
That is correct, because what I'm giving you instead, and like he traces the feather under your nose a little bit, is if you have one of these, when you, I don't know, shuffle your mortal coil, this will give you a second chance.
Ooh,
How does
I think
one
that's
shuffle
better
a
than
mortal
an
coil?
omelet.
How does one shuffle a mortal coil?
Well, the fates could snip your string, you could just die. There's lots of ways to just stop being alive. But if you don't want these feathers, I can...
I'll take one immediately.
Well, I have one already, so I'll just take another one. Hey, I compare them. How big are they?
The feathers themselves, maybe 7 inches. They're not very large. And he kind of like lets one drift over to where Sage is.
7 inches is plenty.
Let's be clear.
Almost 2 many inches. Plenty.
Thank you, Paula.
Good
Yes,
thing this is
good...
going on YouTube. Fantastic. It's a message for the world. Really.
7 inches is a good amount of inches. Yeah, that is correct. The 3rd feather drifts over to Sage. But if you have more eggs, I could give you more feathers.
What would happen if I cut this feather in half and give the other half to Dynah?
Oh, I believe that would render it useless. But cut in half, see what happens. I want to know.
Oh, I don't want to do that yet. I don't like the way you said that.
And Dynah, you were
Why
going to
would
say
you
something?
send us for 3 if you were going to give us 5? What's the catch here? You shady little...
I said you had to bring me 3. I didn't say there wouldn't be more.
Well.
Sometimes greed pays off.
Well.
Sounds sketchy, but...
Very. It's... Fine, I'll find other eggs.
Alright? And each, one at a time, he takes it, he smashes it, and a new feather appears. He hands it to Ankai first, takes the last one from you, smashes it again, and this time a golden feather appears.
Oh.
This one is for you, for being so greedy. It will do the same thing as the other feathers, and maybe bring you good luck in the future.
Oh, that'll be good.
This better not like be an incentive for Hades or something. I'm watching you.
Always
And I
watching.
appreciate
Always watching. Always.
and I appreciate you watching me. I'm quite magnificent. But no, this is because I think you're funny and I like your gumption. And if I'm going to be stuck watching you guys while you complete your trials, I want to be entertained.
What?
So the more entertaining you make it, the more boons I'm happy to share with you.
You keep talking about these trials. What are they?
For that, I do need to give into a little bit of theatrics.
Oh, you're just now going to do that? What a surprise! Like that's going to be a change. Just now going to be theatrical. Listen,
you keep
Mr.
being
Wingsy.
sassy. And I gave you a second chance at life, literally. And like with that, he reaches into the. First of all, he's wearing like the cut off tunic sleeves. They're really high up. The shortest little toga. He would probably fit in right now, going around with the sacred band. But you get the look of his attire seems to be more for an athletic fit. And he goes like he's reaching into his sleeve, but he keeps reaching and he keeps reaching. And all of a sudden he pulls out this large parchment. And he goes, and he reaches into his other sleeve, and he pulls out another large parchment. It's like,
You pull that out of your ass, sir? Where did you get that? I want that too.
They smell like armpits?
Oh, want to give him a smell?
What do I need to roll to smell?
No, if you just sniff them, they smell like crisp parchment, fresh ink, and fried chicken.
And fried chicken.
And fried chicken.
I believe this is fun.
So the first thing I'm giving you is a map, so you don't get lost.
Oh, jeez.
It's incredibly important. The next thing I'm giving you is your list of tasks, which I have both published on the World Anvil and have posted in our chat for the lore and setting. If you accomplish all 12 of these things, you will get rewarded by the gods on high.
The
If
gods
you
are
fail at
high?
any of these tasks,
From
actually several of them.
From what I hear.
I can absolutely attest to the truth of that statement, though I cannot verify all of the personages who have attempted it.
That said, I will see you at the next party, little leaf pile. You are rad as shit. But yes. So, you seem to have caught the attention of the gods. Maybe you know why, maybe you don't. I'm not here to answer those questions. But I am available. And with that, he kind of reaches behind his back like this, and he pulls out. I don't know if many of you know what the actual symbol for Hermes was.
Yes.
In Greece. But a marble phallus is presented.
Yep.
When you complete a task, or if you deeply need some help, you can rub this, and it'll summon me.
I told you
I am not allowed
7
to.
inches is fine. See?
That is true. I cannot assist you in completing your task, but if you are lost, or gravely injured, or have found very interesting trinkets, I can help you in exchange. So, I'll be watching. Enjoy your task, and maybe enjoy the glory that's going to come with it. Oh, and he sets down the platinum coin to start your journey, and then, like, he runs his finger over and a second platinum appears.
Nice.
I bite him.
So, I bite him. Oh, you bite both of the coins? As that's happening, Igreus kind of walks over to this individual, and he says, you know the gods?
He is a god.
I know a few of them.
And he kind of he grabs him by the shoulder not aggressively, but like gently, and kind of like ushers him to the corner of the room. I'm sure he's gonna hear like the shuffling of leaves at some time, but like he's like so you've spoken to Zeus. You have.
Yes, I have spoken to him. I've spoken to a lot of people.
And he kind of like leans into him, and he's like, "Do you know where I come from?"
Yes.
Can you tell me where I can? He kind of like gradually has this very like focused, like is staring into his face. Can you tell me who my family is?
No. But what I can tell you is your mom is super fucking proud of you. So take that as it is. And he kind of like pats your cheek a little bit. You're doing great, kid.
Why won't anybody tell me anything? And he like turns around and walks back to the bar.
I grab his hand and hold it.
No one will tell me anything, Mrs. Baker.
It's okay. We'll find out. I will help you.
Perhaps.
Have some Jello, and I just like give you like this
Produce
Jello ring.
Yeah, he just like takes it, and he's like sitting in a chair, like staring at a wall and eating this Jello.
Tell you what, if you need another drink, I'll make another one before we go.
6, please.
Here, I'll make it a double.
All right. Here's the thing. This is your last chance to ask me something before I go. I don't want to be gone for like 15 minutes and you rub the dick and I come back and I like. So if you got a question.
I have a question. How do we have to rub the dick? Is there a dick rubbing rules or?
It's more about the intention than the style. Like if it rubs against something in the bag, doesn't really alert me. But if it's the
do you like it like two-handed? Do you like it
Sometimes
two-handed
it's really
or like
fun.
one-handed or like the reverse grip?
Oh, the reverse grip does make it feel like it's a stranger.
Do you want me to spit on my hand first and then do it?
We will see you the next
it does
time,
cut down the
stranger.
friction. All right. Well, stay alive. I've done my best to keep that happening. And till next time,
kids.
Do we have to
do it in order? Do we have to do it in order?
Oh, that's such a great question. And he kind of stops and spins in the doorway. That is a hint I can give you. The order is helpful, but you will likely not solve all of the problems in that order. But starting them in that process, I'd recommend it.
What day is it right now?
It would be a certain number of days, I believe 3 days until the full moon, and it would be sometime in the transition between January and February in our current calendar. And what that would mean for you is that the, and I apologize because I'm bad at words, Anthostera celebration would be in about a week.
Oh, so we gotta go, right? So is there like he gives us that parchment, right?
Yep.
So we kind of have to leave very quickly.
Lysios is in town.
Oh,
that is a local temple, and that would be a local temple to Dionysus.
Oh, that's right.
Oh my God! The milk. That is a haunt. Oh, I know a guy. I might know a guy. Or a girl. It doesn't matter. I know a person. I know a beat. We can go. Let's go.
Well, it says here we need to go to. It's inside of Lysios. Yeah.
Yes.
Inside Lysios, there's a venomous goose on the loose.
Goose rhymed better than geese to loose.
Right.
But there is a multitude of geese. There's more than one goose.
Do we have to catch these or do we have to kill them?
Great question. You should probably figure that out. Bye! He leaves.
Just says that they're loose. Well, when someone says loose, they usually mean to capture once again. So I'm assuming somebody's using these for something. Maybe a
Well,
celebration.
if you give me
Perhaps
10
they're
minutes,
cooking
I
them.
can talk to the geese. I can talk to
How
the geese. I just need like 10 minutes.
how far is Lysios from here?
Probably a couple hours walk, maybe across town. It would likely not be a temple that you could currently access at this hour. Essentially, what I'm saying is, we're gonna pick up at that temple when we start the next session.
All right, nice,
Mrs. Baker's already cooking the vulture.
good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's a greasy, gamey bird, but it's cooking. It's meat. You've worked with worse.
It's cooking.
We're gonna have
Good.
Okay, so while that's happening, then does that mean we're going to sleep now? Okay, liggity long rest. Get that first spell slot back.
Yeah. So
I have something
we're
for
gonna.
long rest. Hold on. Oh, I'm gonna try to make the pommel for that sword with the vulture with my I can make a weapon, right? There's something to that. Hold on.
Forge cleric.
Huh?
Cleric.
Forge cleric.
I'm just being down for a second.
D&D.
Bubbles is in the kitchen with me, and we're making like supplies to go like for our journeys.
Okay. Actually, it's 9:25. We've got a kind of a late start. No, we're gonna start the next session at the first of the task. We'll do that, and that way we're not going too late tonight. Yep.
Okay.
That call.
Good
All
idea.
right. So what you doing?
At the blessings of the forge, at the end of a long rest, I can imbue magic into a weapon or armor by touching a non. Okay, that's that one. But I had something else. Okay, conduct an hour-long ritual that crafts a non-magical item that must include some metal. So I can add the vulture beak pummel during the long rest.
And you absolutely do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I drink and keep like chiseling away at this skull, trying to get all the extra pieces out, and then I like fall asleep behind the counter on the floor.
Fantastic. Go ahead. Make a crafting check.
Got it.
We'll let you use.
Because I do have pieces, if I remember correctly. Hold on.
The question: are you trying to do this artistically, quickly, or like efficiently? I should say.
It's not. So it's just like a helmet. So it's gonna look kind of scary. It's weird that he's taking on this like bird aesthetic thing that I don't know
so
how it's
early
happening,
on,
but it is happening. So yeah. So he's just like it. Eventually, it'll be more designed, but as it stands right now, he's just going down to the bare bones of it.
Okay. Go ahead then and make a strength check for me. Add your proficiency modifier.
Yeah, because he's already proficient.
Okay.
And there's
go.
Oh, that's cocked. Otherwise, it was 16. So, you said strength and proficiency, so 25.
Fantastic. You feel like after a few tests, you can get it on your head. It doesn't look great sitting, and it's still uncomfortable where it sits.
Right.
It's gonna need some more fine tuning, but it gets on your head.
And it has all of these locks coming out of the bottom of it, so it looks terrible.
Oh, it also looks a little ridiculous. And there's a moment when you go to take it off, and there's a touch more resistance
Right.
than you're probably expecting. You have that little, oh no, is it? Huh, okay.
Right. I'm going to have some more.
All right, perfect. But yeah, you get it so it can get on your head. It's not well crafted yet, and it's not comfortable, but it does get on your head.
Okay.
And Kai, are you heading back to your home?
Yeah,
Or
we're
are you
going
gonna
in
get
for
a
the
room at
long.
the tavern?
You know what? I will actually get a room just because this is where kind of like everybody's at.
Mm-hmm. All right. Awesome.
Just my cooking, like the cooking preparation, I made 2 treats with my chef's feet that can be used
okay.
as a bonus action to heal next session.
So
fantastic.
So I can make the weapon within the first hour, and then at the end of the long rest, I can imbue it with the magic weapon, and add the attack to that.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I call it "Carry on my wayward sword."
Take inspiration. I like that.
Yeah.
Also,
why did the vulture cross the road?
Oh Lord, to be shot down by me.
No,
It
because the
didn't?
chicken didn't make it.
Oh, get wrecked, chicken. That also said, Igreus, take inspiration for the moment in the cloud.
Nice.
Fantastic.
I'm fired.
All right.
Okay.
Any other fun things for the evening?
I do not think so. Fantastic start, guys. Natural 20s off the wazoo. Killing of the creatures very quickly.
Yes.
For the record,
Paula's vicious mockery.
Yes,
Right.
yes. The dissonant whispers. Oh my god.
And the dissonant
Oh my god.
For the record, I was gonna use the eggs, and I'm gonna try to do this at some point to make a bola.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
I got the leather worker tools. I need something egg shaped to make it look cool and themed with something. We'll figure it out. We'll get this done.
Keep an eye out.
But yes. All right. So we meet again in 2 weeks. Is everyone good for the 28th?
Yes.
Thanksgiving.
I will be starting. I'll be on my new job at that point. So I'll have to take a look at my schedule. I probably will be okay. But
Okay.
I'll have to let you know.
Okay.
No problem. Yay, new job. Yeah. All right.
Fantastic.
So I see you guys.
You did amazing.
In 2 weeks.
So
Yeah.
much.
Thank you for hosting us.
Yeah, it was great.
It was so fun. Everybody did amazing. Thank you, Dungeon Mistress. I love you, Sarah. It was wonderful.
Thank you. You guys were great. I'm glad you're having fun. It's gonna pick up more. This is just get everybody used to their skill sets,
Yeah,
get
it
the
was
ball
good.
rolling. All right.
That
And
was fantastic.
next session we get to deal with geese.
Right.
Which, to be fair, are the
I love
most
a goose.
dangerous creatures.
All the birds.
When
What
I
is
was
this
originally planning
scariest?
this, I was
Brennan
like,
Mulligan would be so upset with you.
well, I was like, what would be silly? And then someone talked about a chicken hunt, and I was like, oh, that sounds fantastic. And then I was like, well, let's do this. But what if they were geese instead? That's funny. And then I totally forgot that you had the stick of bird calls, which you had requested just kind of
Way
out of the blue,
before,
kind of.
right.
Yeah, and I was just like, yeah, a stick of bird calls. That's silly and not gonna come up ever.
No, I was specifically thinking about all of the birds in Grecian mythology, 100%. That's why I brought up the cockatrice. I was like, oh man, it's a cockatrice.
Yeah, there's a load of birds in Greek mythology. Also bugs, lots of spiders. When you get the chance, look over the list. You'll start to put certain things together.
I am literally. I've been looking at it since you dropped it, so believe me. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I can't wait for the Isle of Lesbian.
Yeah, that one came from a very specific research where I tried to find if there was a certain species of creature native to Greece, and it turns out there's a species of it in Lesbos. And I was like, well, we're going to the island of lesbians. I want to go there.
I mean, was it ever a doubt even before then? I mean,
True, but it was a really good way to bring it in.
yeah.
Also, much research was done. Fun fact, the mouth of Hades is somewhere deep, deep in Turkey.
In Turkey.
And that's hella far on the map that I get. Like, it's not even on the map that I posted for you guys. And I just had to go, in D&D travel time, we're not going to get there, at least not anytime soon. So I was just like, well, we can't do that. But yeah, I just kind of rearranged where a few things were. But also, everything is based out of Turkey. All the major stories, Turkey, not Greece.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, you guys
It was so good.
are going to have fun, I think.
Can't wait. I'm already having fun. It was great.
I'm glad.
I'll get the personality for my character more as I play, because like I felt she was a little bland, but I also just made her good. I had my tiefling originally, which I have played in several games. I'm like, you know what? I want to give a try out for the sorcerer, because I've been wanting to play an aberrant mind for a really long time, and I put her together. I'm like, okay, I have all the stats. I don't know who she is yet, but the character exists.
I figure the quiet is like you're listening to the thoughts and trying to like, okay, blah blah blah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thought it was
Like, get the feel for your companions before anything else. I get that. Well, that'll be fun.
I haven't forgotten the baby Bjorn.
Oh, yeah. That means you have to like.
Will that really have to be like a check? Like,
He's like, Igreus is like half drunkenly like standing there in the T pose, so you can measure how much this baby Bjorn is gonna like fit.
Yeah.
We just montage it. It's gonna be great.
I'm gonna decorate the straps with the vulture talons, just like sticking out. It looks cooler. It doesn't look like a baby Bjorn. It looks like she'll be the carry-on.
Tactical baby Bjorn. the one they advertise for the military dudes with all the extra carabiner hooks and everything. But no, okay, so here's the thing. You guys are leaving, and you guys are confidently like, we're getting out of this one-horse town. And if you've ever moved and you're a crafter, that last minute of like, this is now or never, I'm going to use these supplies, or I'm not taking these with me to another location. I imagine Dynah's going through all of her stuff, and it's just like, yeah, we'll just use this, tighten that. Yeah, so I'll let that. And then Mrs. Baker is a crafter and a sewist herself, I'm sure, at some point. So between the two of you, you kind of hodgepodge it together. It's very cool.
I can see Sage like sitting there like smoking a J and like telling us.
Hey, Sage, you got any dyes that I can put into this leather? Make it like, what colors do you want? What colors do you want, Mrs. Baker?
Black, please.
I got a wig mushroom that'll turn anything black, like really nice black, like a nice dull black. Fades to a nice gray.
You would also have a massive amount of resin and tree sap, so you would also have glue to help secure the seams as it's getting sewn together and keep the pieces together. So yeah, no, you'd have all the materials you'd need between all of you.
Sage is definitely like in her little, because I imagine wherever she goes, like even if it's at an inn, she finds like the biggest potted plant uproots the plant, digs in there like Moliere, and just starts like cultivating her little fungus farm. So she's currently harvesting whatever she's been cultivating for this time. Leave some
Yep.
spores so that I got some stuff growing for later.
You got some good stuff. I don't know what that stuff is. I don't know enough about mushrooms. You get chicken of the wood. I don't know.
I love that one. That one's so nummy. I want oysters so I can have people think that they're near like an ocean, but it's fooling them because they're in a woods. Shit messes you up. Really good on a pasta though.
Pasta. But yes, so you guys are packing up your stuff. Again, like the kids before camp, you're getting everything together. You're like, oh man, we're gonna go on an adventure. But yeah.
Hold on, the Hobbit. I'm going on an adventure.
Oh, Bilbo's the best. I too would be mad if a bunch of strangers came into my home.
Trying to take my home. I'm not home. Lobelia Sackville Baggins.
I had
So,
a blast. I have to pee
He took him the
so
film
bad.
away.
Okay, go. Be free. Bye.
Bye.